obviously a lot of very close games on this last road trip, and to be able to get the win last of them out. What did your team show you in that?
Well, we worked on it again today. Like, we're going to be in clutch games. Out of our last 8 games, 7 have been clutch, 4 and 3. You know, we're learning how to close games, and it may not always fall your way, but are you executing the sets you need to execute, getting the right shots, and doing what you want, defensively to put yourself in position to win? We're doing that now. I feel like there's a real identity being formed in a game now. How are we doing this? And putting attention on it. Even in Milwaukee, we got the shots we wanted. We executed. It obviously didn't fall our direction. I thought we could have been better defensively there. But really proud of the group. The Minnesota was a big-time win in the clutch. Just to execute both sides of the ball. We knew where we were going with it. Other than the turnover late, we just dealt with that. We figured that out. We worked on it in practice. We owned it. And now we get better from that. So proud of the group. Like 4 and 3 last 7. Let's keep building momentum in the clutch.
Do you feel like part of the reason that you're finding that success in clutch is because now you've got Sadiq, Z, Trey playing games together, and they're finding a chemistry out there?
I think that's the key right now. I think we finally kind of know our team to some degree at a higher level. This is new for Trey, someone new for Sadiq, how they fit together with Herb handling and DQ out there, and you still got Z. So how does this fit together to manipulate the defense to get the shots we want? And who are we going to? Where are we going to? So simplifying the menu, and then the chemistry of those two together playing. Like, I think we finished a lot of those possessions were Trey and Sadiq to close. There's a little bit of Z as well. So it'll come down to chemistry. And then we worked on it again today in practice. We screwed it up a couple of times. We talked through it. We got better. Okay, now let's run it again, see what that looks like. So it's got our full attention right now is how to go close games. So, but I'm proud of the group that we're getting there.
It sounds like you're seeing the improvements actually emerge from practice. Am I right in realizing?
Yeah, and I think because in the moments, when it's the clutch moments, the players have to communicate on the floor together. I don't have timeout after timeout. The other night, they hit a 3, the gym's going crazy, their heads are spinning, and we're down 1. What are we going to run? They had to go execute and do that. And it was really the practice time that got us there. There was poise to us. There was a settling by Herb. We got the ball where we wanted. We executed 3-point play. So all those habits are formed in practice. Those are formed in training camp. Those are formed in the summer. Obviously, we're trying to do this on the fly, but I give our guys credit. They've stuck with it. We continue to put ourselves in games, which is number 1, through our effort and execution. And then now it's putting attention on the details to close games. So been proud of the group in that regard.
Yeah. What can you share about Sadiq's progression throughout the season? Coming back from injury, I know you've spoken about him being a steady presence, but now he's become one of the key contributors in those clutch moments that you're talking about. Time and time again, he's hit some clutch shots or studied the offense. Just what has he provided for you this season?
Well, I've learned a lot about him. I didn't know he was this type of player. When I say that, I mean sort of a closer, big shot maker, big shot taker. Obviously, we've seen highlights of him in the past do that, but until you have a guy internally, you don't understand their poise and focus and confidence till you have them in-house. And, I've learned that you can trust him. He's going to get a good shot. He's not afraid of the big moment. And that's just in the clutch. Think about what he's done throughout 48 minutes, even before you get to the clutch, or the 43 minutes leading up to the clutch. He's been a poised individual, a steady 3-level scorer, a playmaker for us that we can count on at any time. If we call his number, I think something good's going to happen. Whether we make it or not, I don't know. But there's a high-quality possession that we're going to have. And I didn't know that about him, honestly, until he was with us. So, and now I can feel he's become more vocal. He's become more of a leader in these clutch moments that we just worked on. He's got a voice in these moments. So I'm expecting him, and I'm asking him to step his level of leadership up right now. He's not maybe the most vocal guy, but I'm asking for more of that. We're going to demand more of that. He commands that. He's that type of player. I trust him with that. And so collectively, Herb talking, Trey talking, Z talking, Sadiq talking, now DeJounte back in the mix. That level of communication, having him as one of those anchors is massive for our team.
And you've been calling his number in the post. It seems like maybe sometimes out of timeouts, or sometimes when you go through a little bit of a dry spell and you need someone to just settle the offense down. He's been statistically one of the most efficient players in the post. Just what do you see from those actions, and why do you keep going to him?
Yeah, I think, as I said, it's, I feel like we're going to get a high quality shot. It's more of a consistent shot, and either he's going to get to something in the paint, draw a foul, or he's going to kick out for an open three. It's just a steady presence, and it's something that I was fortunate enough in San Antonio to have, where when we needed a big bucket or big possession, dumping it down to Tim Duncan just to settle the gym. I've never been a massive post-up coach, but playing through the post, there's a settling presence about playing through the post. The gym is settled, there's spacing, and especially if you have someone that can score the basketball, it's a settler for us. So I feel like we're going to get a high-quality shot. Guys know where their spots are, and so far he's delivered in those moments.
It seems like Trey was a confident shooter from the day that he got to the NBA. But
Murphy was?
Trey Murphy, yeah.
Is that true?
I think so. But it seems like, how do you see like what he's done lately? Is it just taking the aggressiveness to a different level in terms of, he set the franchise record, and then the next game he had 6 threes. It seems like he's had multiple quarters lately where he's made like 4 threes in a quarter.
Well, you're right. That's what he is. At his core, he's a high-level shooter, right? Elite shooter from distance or at the line or, beyond the line. So that's really where his game starts offensively. And defenses understand that. And he's added to his game. Look at his progression, even the last 3 years, even within the last year, his ability now to take that range and put pressure on the rim, get downhill, make a play for somebody else, draw 2 and kick it, get to the rim and finish. Just for him to be in these moments that we're trusting him in the game is a credit to him and the work he's put in. And a lot of that has to do with what he's doing off the bounce as well. But it's the gravity, to your point, it's the gravity and the ability to shoot it from deep in that range and being elite that's going to allow him to do that. And I think over time you're going to see, him become more elite one-on-one, which is, he's working through those moments, but it really starts with his range and his confidence.
He seems like he's just more active overall.
Trey is, yeah.
Yeah, defensively, but affecting the game in a bunch of different ways.
I agree. I think he's blossoming. He understands, especially defensively, what we need him to do to be a two-way player, For us to be an elite team, we're working on it, but he's got to be a big part of that, especially at his range and his size. He can be elite there. So I've seen him become more active defensively on the board as well, to your point. And then offensively playing off ball, where he would just be more of a spacer. He's cutting off ball now. And I think that's where a lot of his rim pressure has come. And I think we could point to DQ as part of that, right? That little synergy where he's going backdoor, where they're trying to chase him off a pin down when he simply goes backdoor. That's a tough cover for teams. So his activity off ball has been, a real bright spot for him and for us as well. And it creates easy baskets for him. It's an easy basket at the rim.
How good was it to have Bryce McGowens, the use of him in the game again? Didn't play for 7 games, and he really stood out in that win.
Stood out. I was torn not to play him in those 7. That wasn't easy. But, limited on days and, hopefully people understand we trust the kid. I trust him. I believe in him. I think he's a winner. He's a two-way player, again, that can guard. Even the possessions Anthony Edwards scored, those were tough twos that he was making over Bryce. And Bryce did that to him the last time we played Minnesota. We've seen this. There's plenty of evidence now for me to say this is a two-way player. And he made big shots. He made the big 3. Then he got to the rim against Edwards with a big bucket. I guess to answer your question, he has stayed ready in these moments where nobody's watching. He's playing in the conditioning league. He's doing his, prep work and what's the other, death row league, all these other different leagues that our guys have. Bryce is a pro. He's staying ready, and he's only going to get better.
Are you a little surprised at all because he is able to stay ready like that? Because he's not that old. He doesn't have that much experience. He plays like a guy that's maybe 30 years old because he knows his role, like a 30-year-old, I'm saying. But Bryce is a lot younger than that. Does that surprise you at all? Or does that kind of make him special in a sense, too?
Well, it does make him special. He was taught well at some level, whether that was his high school coach, maybe it was his mother and father, maybe it was Fred Hoiberg, maybe it was his time in Charlotte, maybe it was a blend of all that. He has learned that to stay in this league, who his mentors are, I don't know who that is, but whoever has taught him, he has embraced it. And somebody has shared with him, like, to stick around this league, just do your job. Your time will come. Stay ready for the moment. Keep working. He was not known as a defender, as far as I know, coming into the league. He has gradually learned that to stay on the floor, if you could guard your man one-on-one, defend at a high level, there's going to be a place for you in this league. He's embraced that. So I wish we could take credit for that, and hopefully we can take some credit for this. But he learned and he embraced it, and he's taken full advantage of the opportunity in front of him. So I'm a believer.
Yeah, got one more.
Sure.
Z's played
Super Bowl.
Yeah,
No
exactly.
Super Bowl?
No. Z's played the most consecutive games of his career now.
Yeah.
Just what have you seen from him with regards to his approach and where he's at physically and mentally?
I think, that's a big highlight of the season to me, that I don't want to jinx it. He's on the right path. He's putting in the work. He's showing up every day. His habits are pro-like habits, doing his job, and staying healthy, staying committed to putting in the work to stay healthy, stay available, be available for his team. I think he's fully committed to this organization, fully committed to the city. I know that he wants to be here. He loves his team. He loves his teammates. Now it's about winning. And we know to win, we got to have him available. And I'm extremely proud that he has bought into our system, the culture we're trying to build, our identity, and he's showing up every day with that type of focus. And that's what it's going to take for him to turn this thing, and for us to turn it, is for him to be available. Are there areas of him of growth or, where he can grow? Yes, and he understands that. And I think he's fully committed to continue working in those areas. But the biggest thing that we can all say is he's available and he's bought in. And I love that about him. I'm proud of him, and he's showing a tremendous amount of leadership right now.